Mic check. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Put a one in the chat if you hear the sound of my voice. I know it's late, but I must talk about this development in the case involving Mr. Nolan Wells. Good evening. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So, and a lot of you are not going to be happy about this breaking news because the case directly involving the death of Nolan Wells has yet to be solved, but the FBI has made an arrest involving an individual who has issued threats over the internet against the mother or the stepmother of one of Nolan Wells' alleged friends. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and read the reporting. It just came out very shortly, and I want to get your thoughts on this. We heard some talk about people being threatened. We heard some talk about it was just a lot. I don't want to repeat a lot of the thoughts and let's just say threats that others have kind of alluded to, but I want to talk about this. And this is it. And while I don't believe anyone should be threatening anyone over the internet, tensions are high. But according to TMZ, the first arrest connected to the wave of threats surrounding the death of Nolan Wells has been made. But it is not an arrest in connection with Nolan Wells' death. And we must be clear on that. Federal authorities have arrested Joseph Alfredo Vasquez Dumarce, a California man, on allegations that he sent death threats to Judge Ashley Cole, a Jackson County judge, who is also the stepmother of one of Nolan Wells' friends. Investigators allege that Dumarce used the Facebook account Yay962 to send threatening messages to Judge Cole after Nolan Wells' death gained national attention. He has been charged with interstate transmission of threatening communication, a federal offense that carries a maximum penalty of 5 years in prison if convicted. The arrest comes amid an ongoing federal investigation into the threats and online harassment directed at people connected to Nolan Wells' case, including friends, witnesses, and public officials. What this does not mean, ladies and gentlemen, is the arrest does not represent a breakthrough in the investigation involving Nolan Wells' death. Anyone with causing Nolan Wells' death has not been arrested. Instead, this is a separate criminal case involving alleged online threats against a judge connected to individuals in the broader investigation. And for those who don't know, one of the friends, and his name's he was the first one that did an interview on that retired cop's website. But this is a concern for myself because this threat moved quicker than any potential arrest that should have happened in this case if there was some criminal culpability. And I want to talk about that for a second. We know that there's been reporting that there were over 100 people on this Horn Island, but has anyone actually seen video of over 100, 200, 300, 400 people on this island? Have we seen any footage of an island full of people? Have anyone seen this footage? Because I haven't seen the footage yet. But the sad part is that we're no closer to a direct arrest of anyone involved in the killing of Nolan Wells, if that is the case. But we do have another case moving quicker, and this is involving the judge. And I think a lot of people are going to be very upset that we have this arrest, but we have no arrest directly connected in the death of Nolan Wells. That's a problem. That's a major problem. So this individual, allegedly, according to the charging papers, decided to send a series of threats to this particular judge. And I want to, TMZ is actually also reported on this story, and they give a little more details, and I want to bring that up as well. I'm going to share their screen. Let's see if I have it over here. And I do have it. So here we go. TMZ was reporting that Joseph Alfredo Vasquez Dumarce has been charged with interstate transmission of a threatening communication, a federal crime carrying a maximum sentence of 5 years in prison. Okay, so the Sun is reporting, according to the Sun, the charging document includes several messages allegedly sent from the account. One read in part, "There will be a package coming to your guys' office in the next few days. It's going to blow you away when you see it. LOL. Probably best to have those boys there to see as well." The message continues, "Blood, so much blood everywhere, hard to clean, especially from a boat, but yours will be quick, I promise." It concluded, I got all your information. I got all your info. Not even the FBI can stop this. Once that package is open, the timer will start. And then you have maybe 10 seconds or less to ask God for forgiveness. Other messages allegedly threatened to strangle Cole's sons and included pictures of her children. And they used the IP address. They tracked Dumarce down by his IP address, his email, his date of birth, his phone number, and street address that was tied to his account. So anyone, and I would just say this as a cautionary statement, anyone that decides to use their social media platform, their screen name, or anything that, and I'm not telling you, I'm just saying that you're foolish if you're going to issue a threat over the internet and don't think that law enforcement cannot track you down. But I just hope that same technology that was used to find this individual is used to search those phones that all those young men had that day, and anyone that may have communicated with those young men, because we can see just based on how quick this arrest was that the technology is there, and the FBI moved very quickly on this. And I just say that the natives are getting restless. The natives are getting restless. And the longer this case takes to come to a conclusion, you're going to have more crazies out there demanding answers and issuing threats. And I just think that we have to wait for, as long as people can wait for, and it's been almost 30 days. And at some point, those in charge of this investigation has to communicate with the public and the family and let them know that they're doing something, because right now it gives all the impression and appearance that this is a cover-up. I'm not saying it's a cover-up, but it gives the impression that this is a cover-up. People have gone silent. People decide not to cooperate with all the people that allegedly was out there on Horn Island on July 4th. Where are all the photos? Where are all the videos? You would think on a day like the 4th of July, people would have hung around on Horn Island to let off fireworks. So at this point, it does seem like there's been a lockdown on information coming out of this case. And the people that may have the information needs to, like Attorney Ben Crump said, send the videos in. Whatever you have, send your videos in. There has to be, someone had to see what happened to Nolan Wells on July 4th. You can't tell me that there were hundreds of people on the island and no one saw this man drown in the water. No one saw this? But we'll see what happens in the next day or so, next 2 days, next 3 days. Let's see if someone in authority will say, hey, we have enough information to present to a grand jury, and then we'll see where that goes. But right now we have nothing. And this is going to obviously rub people the wrong way. The judge has already got some type of justice for these alleged threats, but the family of Nolan Wells has zero justice. Think about that. Think about that. This judge has got more justice in the last 30 days or whenever this threat, I won't say this threat, I think this threat came out maybe a week ago, or maybe sooner. We'll have the charging papers because the person's going to be brought in front of a federal magistrate, and likely he won't be extradited, but he will probably be charged in the jurisdiction where he's at. And we should have something tomorrow because they've taken him into custody. But this is while this is a serious matter, this is not the answers that people are looking for. For those who are joining in, the individual that was arrested is out of California. He was arrested for issuing death threats to the stepmother and judge of one of the alleged friends of Nolan Wells. If you're just joining, you're going to have to hit the rewind button because we already announced who was arrested. It's there. We don't have a picture because if he was arrested by the feds, there's not going to be a mugshot. But his name may be out there. You can Google his name. You might have a picture shortly. I see the comments coming in. I know you guys are disappointed, but this is the first arrest associated with the death of Nolan Wells. The first arrest, a judge that was the stepmother of one of Nolan Wells' alleged friends. Crazy. So once again, for those who are joining in, the feds have arrested stand by, I'm gonna give you his name right now. The feds have arrested Joseph Alfredo Vasquez Dumarce, a California man who was accused of sending terroristic threats and threatening communications over the internet. This crime carries a maximum sentence of 5 years in prison. They were able to track him down by his screen name. So I'll say a screen name again. You internet sleuths can go and see if there's anything still online. Yaya, Yaya, YAE 962. And this threat originated from Facebook. And they move pretty quick. Let's see if we have a date, exact date when these threats were made. We don't have the date, but we should have it tomorrow sometime because he's going to be brought in front of a magistrate court. He'll be brought in front of a federal magistrate. Let's see if I see him there on the docket. Stand by, guys. I'm checking Pacer right now. Okay. Okay, you got it? Okay. It comes up on Google. Okay. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, as this case continues to develop, we'll be bringing you whatever the breaking news story is as it relates to this case, and hopefully we'll get some I won't say real news, but news related to what actually happened to Nolan Wells. The judge is safe. For the most part, the kids are safe, but Nolan Wells is still not among us and won't be. People are asking, where's the photo? Feds don't take mugshot. The photo, but they won't release it. So you'll never see a federal, a mugshot from the feds. Let's see if I can find a picture anyway. Let's see if we got a picture on him. Hold on. Let's see if we have a picture on him. Let's see if we got something on him. Stand by, guys. Okay. Let's see, we have a picture on him. Not that it means much, but let's see how this guy, let's see. Oh my goodness. No, that's not him. There's several people with that name, so we're not going to just post anything. So there's several people with that name, with the same name. So we're not putting any pictures up. Unless there's an official picture that's being released, we're not touching that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining. We'll see you on our next live.
the Dennis Byron Show, breaking headlines, truth in every flow, from courtroom seats to exclusive shots. Journalism raw, yeah, Byron calls the shots. Subscribe, stay woke, now let's get in the know. It's the Dennis Byron Show, the Dennis Byron Show, it's the Dennis Byron Show, the Dennis Byron Show, the Dennis